Hello everyone, welcome to This Day. It is Thursday, June 12th. I'm your host, Bree Cox Kennedy. I know you were probably expecting Michael. He's usually here with you on Thursdays, but Michael is still touring Europe. I think he's in Switzerland today. So we look forward to having him back next week. On today's show, we have a GRF update for you with Kushbata and Marie Collins. So we'll let them take the stage and give us a Golden Rain Foundation update. But first, folks, we want to keep you informed, and we want to bring United Mutual Colors to life. The United Laguna Woods Mutual Board of Directors invites United residents to its next monthly town hall. That's taking place Friday, June 13th from 2 to 4 p.m. It's going to be held in Clubhouse 3 in the Performing Arts Center. The Board of Directors will present the United Mutual Paint Palette for Manor Exteriors. Let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. Those lingering June low clouds are with us once again this morning. They should give way to pleasant sunshine by midday, and the highs will be probably in the upper 70s. Evening's going to cool down to low 60s, high 50s. We'll be in for hopefully a radiant weekend stretch with abundant sunshine in the forecast, climbing up to 82 on Sunday. That actually might be beach or picnic potential. Who knows? You might want to get on out there. Sunrise this morning was at 5:40. Sunset will be at 8:01. We've got a beautiful sun glow sent in to us by Lori Malawa. Send me your photos. I'd love to see them, just like Lori did. Send those to Laguna Woods Village TV at gmail.com. Please send us your name, where the photo was taken from, and in a horizontal format, please. Next up, we've got just a couple of meetings to tell you about, and then after the break, we have our Golden Rain Foundation update, so stay with us. And welcome back to the show, everyone. We have GRF update, Golden Rain Foundation update. Here with us today, we've got Kushbata and Marie Collins. Hello, you two.
Good morning.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. Good morning to you also.
Thank you for coming. I know you've got a lot of talking points to update everybody on, so I'm just going to let you take it away from here.
Thank you, thank you. I have Marie Collins. She's a young, very accomplished attorney on our board, and she's got many good things to tell our residents.
Okay.
And Marie, would you like to carry on?
A lot of residents have been asking me, what are all these elections about? Who elects who? I don't know. Why don't I go to that election? Okay. And so that's why I thought it would be helpful to explain just about who, that's what I call it, who votes for whom and why. Okay?
All right, Marie, let's clear that up.
All right. So the Laguna Woods Village currently has 5 corporations in it. If you ask anybody, they think, oh, there are just 3, there are just 4. There are actually 5. And I'm not going to explain all the relations between them, but I'm going to explain who they are and why they need votes to be held.
Okay.
Okay, so each has a board of directors. Each corporation, just like corporations all over the world, if it's a corporation, it's going to have a board of directors, which is elected by the owners, who are the shareholders. That's consistent everywhere in the world.
Okay.
That's what a corporation does, okay? So 4 of our corporations that are in here own property and are directly associated with the residents. And that's GRF, United, Third, and Mutual 50. Mutual 50, by the way, if you don't know it by that name, is the towers, okay? All right, the Village Management Services, VMS as we all call them, okay, they are a not-for-profit corporation, and it is the management agent for 3 of our other corporations. That's kind of confusing, okay? It's a management agent for GRF, for Third, and for United. The Towers has a different management corporation, okay?
Okay.
So, since each of these corporations have a board of directors, they're going to have to get elected by the shareholders. So, Laguna Woods United Mutual, that's where I live, it has 6,323 residents.
Correct.
So, they are the shareholders.
Of that corporate.
United Mutual is a corporation, and it owns all of the property that is Laguna Woods United, okay? But the shareholders are the residents, and the residents each have a occupancy agreement. Now, that's not the way it is over in Third.
Correct. It's
Over
slightly
in
different.
Third,
Slightly different.
yeah.
Yes.
So over in Third, they own, so each of those HOA members own. So back to Laguna Woods Mutual, it has 6,323 shareholders, and they elect 11 directors to the board of directors for Laguna Woods United, okay? All right, Laguna Hills, and they've just never changed their name from a long time ago, but Laguna Hills Third Mutual, that's where it's fee simple, and you live in
It's a
Third.
condos.
Yeah.
These are the condominiums,
Yeah,
and there are. Go
but
ahead.
they're owned.
They're owned,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, they're owned.
Yes.
Okay, but they have a homeowners association, and that homeowners association has 6,102
Correct.
shareholders of the homeowners association, which is called Laguna Hills Third Mutual. So those 6,102, those people elect the board of directors for Third. Now, I think most people understand those two. Now we'll get into the hard ones. Okay, Mutual 50, the Towers, they only have 311 members, okay? So they elect only 5 directors. See, it's kind of proportionate. The other 2 have 11, so each of those elect 11.
Correct.
And then the Towers elect 5. Okay, Golden Rain Foundation. All right, Golden Rain Foundation.
Hold on, Mary. So tell them the total number after that. If 6,000,
total.
6,000, 3,000, 300.
12,736.
Correct. So that is the total number of resident units that we have in the whole of Laguna Woods. Correct?
Yeah, right.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now that's like the associations that are directly associated with the people voting like that.
Correct.
Okay. Now, Golden Rain Foundation is the trustee of the trust that was set up by the grantor, 60 years ago. He had to make sure that as we live here now, 60 years later, that we have all these wonderful activities and associations and
Amenities and benefits and all that kind of stuff should continue. So they created this thing called the Golden Rain Foundation to manage and run all these things.
So it oversees
Correct.
everything else.
Mainly the clubhouses, the pools, the golf courses, and so many other activities. Yes.
So the actual real estate property within Laguna Woods that is not owned by Third, United, or the Towers, like all the clubhouses and the streets, things like that, those are assets of the trust. And then everybody knows that a trust has a trustee that manages it and is responsible to take care of it and let it be there. Well, every trust also has beneficiaries, okay? Well, the beneficiaries are 3. They are United, Third, and Mutual 50. Even though all 3 of those don't have the same manager, they are all 3 beneficiaries of this trust, okay?
Yes.
So that is why they vote for the directors on the Golden Rain Foundation, GRF. See, it's kind of confusing.
All the way
It's
back
like a
around.
convoluted, but it does work.
Right.
Yes.
So when you come back to it and you're going to have an election, because that was why I'm doing it. Why have all these elections? Well, it's because each of those three I described to you that are mutuals, they have a board, 11, 11, and 5, and that adds up to 27. Okay, those three mutuals they not only are the beneficiaries of the trust, they own the trustee. See, a trustee, it's a corporation. It's got to have a board of directors. That's who owns it. So that's why when you say, oh, and this is what people usually don't understand, why are we having a, quote, corporate election? Why are only those 27 people elected? It's because they are the owners and of the GRF assets. And so they are the shareholders, and they are the ones who vote. So that's how that comes out. All right, so all those mutuals, they individually vote, but they have representatives on their boards, and then their boards represent, and the 27 people who are directors, that's the corporate. So when you hear the corporate, that's what it is.
Interesting.
Okay? That's about all I have. What do you think?
You need to tell them a little bit about VMS.
I do need to tell them a little bit about VMS. Yeah. This is the one that's really not associated with the individuals, sort of. VMS was created in 2015 by three of them, the three that they manage for. Okay, so VMS was created in 2015 by GRF, Third, and United, not Mutual. Not 50 Mutual. They wanted a different one.
Let's step back a little.
Okay.
So we used to have one management company at that time, and they needed a change. What I mean is these 3 or 4 different entities. So they decided to make that change. Mutual 50 wanted to stay back with the original management agent. So they stayed back, but United, Third, GRF changed over and created their own company, which is now known as Village Management Services, or VMS. So that's the difference that Marie was talking about. Yeah.
And that was really one of my main points, and I was about to skip over it. Thank you. And that is, why don't we vote for the people who live here, the residents? Why don't we vote for VMS Board of Directors? Well, because VMS, Village Management Services, is a corporation.
Right.
And it's owned by these that he mentioned. It's owned by GRF, Third, and United. So they, again, 11, and 5, that's who they are. But since they are only 3, when you look at them, there are only 3 shareholders. There are only 3 shareholders for VMS, and they are GRF, United, and Third. So each of those 3 send 3 members.
Correct.
So it's within let's just take GRF where we are. Within GRF, we elect 3 delegates to be, well, actually, we elect 3 directors for VMS. And then United elects 3. And then Third elects 3. And so the VMS board is elected by its shareholders, 3 of them, and they run VMS. It's a company which is a management company, okay? It just happens to be owned by us, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why you don't see people putting out flyers and things like that for VMS directors, because it's only their 3 shareholders who vote, not the whole company.
My goodness.
Does that make
Interesting.
sense?
Yeah.
It totally makes sense.
Now-
Yeah, I kind of think in pictures, so I'm trying to put this little chart together as
I
you're
thought
going
about
through
doing that,
everything.
yeah.
That's a lot to remember, Marie.
It is. Well,
you
it
get
is.
used to it. Once you get working into it,
Yeah.
you get to know a lot more, and then it comes to you automatically when you're talking.
You don't have to be an attorney?
Yeah, but see,
Not necessary.
no. But I understand why people are confused.
Oh,
'cause
absolutely.
That's pretty complicated.
It's
and I
highly
didn't even
complicated.
get into the whys, wherefores, if. Okay, this is I just wanted everybody to understand who elects whom and why.
Right. Yeah, no, I think putting together a chart, a flow chart, would be really helpful.
That's correct.
That way you can just hand it
I'll
off.
do that next time.
Okay, great. Okay. That's your assignment. That way I know that I've got a full understanding of what goes on
I'm
around
sure
here.
Marie did a pretty good job of putting these little pieces together.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
No, this is great. And,
Well,
I've
I hope it
gained-
helps. I hope
Well,
it
it
helps.
helped me, so I'm sure
Yeah.
that it had helped our residents as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think going over it, a few more times, like you said, you'll pick it up.
But
and
it
you'll
will
get
be
it.
recorded so they can keep
Oh, there you
pressing
go.
the rewind button and
It'll be on YouTube, so they can rewatch anytime they want.
And he keeps me on track when I almost run off. Wait a minute, tell us about the event. Oh, yes, okay.
Yeah, well, there's a lot to cover,
correct.
Yeah.
and you could easily kind of sort of get off base a little bit.
Yes, when I first made the outline to send over here, when it came back, it looked like, oh my gosh, that'll take 45 minutes. We can't do that. So I pared it down just to who elects whom, and so
Yeah.
we got that.
Yeah, no, that's great.
I think you did a terrific job,
Yes,
Marie.
you did.
And I'm sure people will have questions, but they will be able to rewind it and sort it out, or they will give us a call.
Yeah. How long have you been president?
Since last November.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Marie, how long have you been on the board?
About 2 months.
So, have either of you gotten questions from residents, like wanting to know the history?
Sure.
And kind of what you did, you sort of walked us through the history, basically. But I think it's fascinating.
It is.
I think that the entire structure of this community
Well-
is just based on. He was such a Cortese was just ahead of his time, wasn't he?
Yes, it's unique. It's the largest one in California, which probably means it's
Probably,
the largest
yes.
one.
There are some larger ones in America, but 12,700 and plus units in one organization
Right.
is pretty huge. And I think we do a tremendous job that makes lots of people wanting to move here, and it's being rated as one of the best in the country.
Congratulations with that. Thank you, Marie and Kush.
Thank you.
Appreciate you
you.
joining us here today.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for having
We'll
us.
see you next time.
Thank you.
You're watching This Day on Village TV. We'll be back after these messages.
Hi there, I'm Bob Eubanks. Remember me? I'm the king of whoopee. And you're watching Village Television. But everybody does.
Cirque du Soleil's newest big top show, Echo, is coming to Laguna Hills. Joining me today is Luana Ciclet Moncho, who plays the character of Mother Nature in Echo. Luana, welcome to the
Yes.
show.
Thank you.
It's so nice to have you with us.
Nice to meet you.
This is just a tiny little portion of the amazing acrobatic performances that Luana will have for you at the show. Come on up. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to
Thank you
meet
for
you.
joining us.
Thank you.
So, Luana, you grew up basically between big top canvases and your grandfather
Yeah.
and your father
Uh-huh.
both being in the circus.
Yes. So my grandfather was a street performer. He was a fire spitter and had a monkey. And then my dad became a circus artist. He teach me his discipline, which is the Washington trapeze. So I really start circus at home, and he teach me everything I'm doing quite in the show right now.
So your father followed your grandfather's footsteps,
Yes.
but your grandfather never performed in the circuses, did he?
I mean, he was more an entertainer than a performer in a way that he was having the attitude in the street of playing music, but he was not like an athlete. Then my dad became really an athlete that wanted to do acrobatics.
And do you think that that was stemmed from your grandfather's street performances?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because when you grow up in the circus, you meet the people, you have the energy. You can't get away from it.
It's just in your blood.
Yeah,
Which
I think so.
probably explains why you, at such a young age, took a liking. How old were you when you took your first few steps on a circus stage?
Oh, I was not even one.
Not even one.
Yeah. I had my first costume and performing with my dad, doing few apparitions. And then when I was a teenage, at 14 years old, I decided to really commit and train every day with him, because to do circus and perform, it's like any physical activities. You have to really train a lot to access to a high level. So when I committed at 14 years old, I never stopped.
And did you have any resistance from your mom since she was in the medical field?
I mean, my mom is super proud and happy. She encouraged me in every project. She's also really attracted by the circus world. She's making costumes. She's doing the paper of the company for my dad. So she's super proud and happy for me. And also to please both of them, I did my physiotherapy school. So I graduate and I'm a physiotherapist on the side. So like this, I have the both of my two parents.
You know, I would imagine that understanding and having that degree in physical therapy, you would really get a sense of what the body is doing when you're forcing it into these acrobatic performances.
Yes.
I mean, you have a really an understanding of
Yeah, I
the
think
muscular system, right?
It's really interesting. It's helping for every day doing some prevention exercise and understanding the body. But at the same time, it's really with the time that you learn how the body gonna react. How I wish to do this job as long as I can and do like my dad, being 56 and still stand on my head. This is my only wish.
Oh, well, I'm sure that will be granted very easily. So tell us about your experience with Cirque du Soleil. How long have you been with them?
So I was first contacted by Cirque du Soleil in 2019 for a project called Under the Same Sky, which was the project of Echo, but just before the pandemic. And then, as you all know, we were months of opening the show, and pandemic happened, so my dream completely fell off.
Oh no.
I did other projects, I did some cabaret in Germany and other circus performances. And then when they called me back in 2021, 2022, they say, we're gonna start the project again, it's gonna be another name, gonna be Echo, but if you want, you could still be the main protagonist with the trapeze act like we were working on. So for sure, I said like, yes, for sure, I come back to you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And during those years where we had our time off, did you continue performing anywhere, or did you just stay in shape by doing it in your studio?
I decided to stay mainly in Montreal at first, and in Montreal, I performed with some friends. We create a show in the street on the top of a car because the people were locked down in their apartment. And we decided to perform on the top of the car, like doing deambulation for the people on the balconies. So we did like a project that was really, it was a need. For me, stop performing, stop creating was the worst thing that could ever happen. So even if we were having a lot of restriction, I tried to find a way to still keep doing it. So I did this, and then we had the chance to go to Europe. I see my family in France and Germany. was not closing theaters because this is dining theaters.
Oh, okay.
So they were considered as restaurants. So I had the chance to work for a year and a half in the cabaret in Germany while everything was stopped.
Wow, that's very innovative of you.
I was lucky.
Yes. So tell us about your character. You are Mother Nature in Echo. How did that evolve?
So more simply than Mother Nature, I think it can be this to an extent, but like the character is a young woman that is all the time with her dog, Iwei. She's connected to the world, to the nature. She has a certain empathy that make her connect, I feel, deeper with humanity.
How do you want the audience to feel after they've seen your show?
I think the best comment for me is when something say, you touch me, in the way that I love that the people feel emotions. They're gonna laugh. I hope they're gonna also cry. They're gonna be touched by the story. They're gonna connect with the story somehow, with their own life, with their own story. So this is the main goal for us, to make them live emotions.
That's fantastic. I love that. So do you go back home to Montreal after here, or do you tour on?
We are touring in North America, so we are on the road all the time.
Well, we certainly appreciate you taking the time to be here with us today.
That's a pleasure.
Thank you, Luana. Appreciate you being here.
That's a pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right, folks, Cirque du Soleil, May 23rd through June 29th. Tickets are available now. Go get them and see this lovely young lady perform as Mother Nature. You're watching This Day on Village TV. We'll be back after these messages.
For over 20 years, Orange County has taken its unwanted gold, jewelry, timepieces, sterling silver, and coins to the Jewelry Box estate buyers and always received top dollar. Come see why for over 2 decades Orange County has relied on the Jewelry Box estate buyers.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Let's take a look at the Friday and Saturday night movie previews. We've got Forrest Gump on Friday night. Who doesn't love this movie? Even if you've seen it 100 times, you're going to want to see it again. This is a 1994 classic with Tom Hanks, brought to us by RadNet. And Saturday, we have Peace, Love, and Misunderstanding. So enjoy those movies. Let's take another look at our weather. Today's high is going to be about 78 degrees. Low is going to be dropped down to about 61. So cooler temperatures nighttime makes it a little bit easier to sleep. We've got some sun and some rising temperatures toward the weekend. So we look forward to that. Highs 82 on Sunday. Sunny Sunday. Get out there and have a round of golf or picnic or whatever you want to do. Enjoy that weather and take your sunnies and your sunscreen with you. Tomorrow on This Day, the Reformed Temple of Laguna Hills and Sports Corner. And that is going to do it for this episode of This Day. From all of us here, we wish yours a beautiful one. See you tomorrow.